with people who have been through it, we get to a place, and like I said this before on another podcast, gangsters and street people, once they come up, you will never see their kids in public school. Like we'll never give our kids that same hard life ever in the history of life. Will you you're not doing it.
Jim Brewer.
Jim Brewer.
Jim Brewer.
Jim Brewer.
Jim Breuer.
Hey, this is Jim Brewer.
Hello, Michael. Welcome.
What's up, dude?
I'm just going over I'm in the hole. You go in the rabbit hole?
Oh boy, hell yeah, all the time.
Yeah, I'm in there all the time.
What hole you in today?
I just left it too. Wait a minute. There's a couple. Wait a minute. Dears. You know what makes me laugh? And I wonder if he can get away with some of the stuff he did was Don Rickles.
I'll tell you this. Walking around going,
He's at. We're all brothers. I just try to figure out like where. Today, Ireland, Norway, and Spain are announcing that we recognize the state of Palestine. What is gonna go down this year? You know, let's hope the theory isn't that this administration is part of the New World Order, which a lot of people don't understand what that is. A lot of people now do understand, but there's people out there like, what are you talking about? And the New World Order is about taking down America. And we are and yeah, I've heard that a lot of what I've never in the history of my life, maybe because I didn't pay much attention, heard people coming across the border and then you're paying them and putting them up. Like in New York, you start putting them in hotels and the hotels are protected, and then you're putting them in schools. You're flying them in. Like what is the purpose of that? Like, don't you have a whole and this is what blows my mind. So you have billions of dollars to send on war, not peace. Here's the deal. The news is always going to be pro-Palestine. I mean, take it back. The news is always going to be pro-Israel. Case closed. I have no involvement. But when Israel pays our politicians, fact, for special interest, fact, and many of our members in government have Israel citizenship, allegedly. You might want to look into that. Again, that's not anti-Semitic. It's just you're not always going to get the full picture. And why send anyone money when you ain't clean? If you can't clean up your own house, why are you sending money? If I can't afford my daughter's car and my daughter has issues, why am I going to be in another neighborhood giving them all my money? The stupidity of that is mind-boggling. This is why anyone involved, or you think you're smart, or you think like, well, the Democrats are this and the Republicans are that. And no, but it's all distraction. Nobody's taking care of us. You're sending money to Israel, and I don't care if you're Jewish, you should not just be involved like, I'm Israel. No, you shouldn't. It's like me. I'm Christian, so what country? Or I'm Muslim, so I'm. What are you talking about? What about where you live? Your circle. So yeah, it pisses me off whenever they send money anywhere. Don't send money to Israel. Don't send money to Ukraine. And here's another thing. You really think your leaders care about you? You really think because you're a Democrat or Republican and you really think their best interest is your life? I guarantee you, the words in my head about Bob Marley, of course he got whacked. Of course he died of cancer. He was trouble. A black man uniting the world through music and the words he said.
Every government upon the face of this earth today is illegal.
They're like, oh, this guy's a problem. This guy's a serious problem. We can't have this guy selling out places talking about all governments are illegal. And I'm starting to really, yeah, they are. Because you can't tell me if you just took citizens from Palestine, citizens from Israel, citizens from any conflict area, and we sat in an area for a month together. How much money would that cost for people to figure out peace? And this whole thing about, well, it's a biblical. Stop with that. Stop with that. Stop. It's a biblical. No, that's all just to blur your vision, to think this is supposed to happen. Murder is not supposed to happen, period. Period. War. Why? Why? I love when people say we're overpopulated. My daughter says that. We're overpopulated. I said, is there seriously something wrong with you? Have you ever been in Nebraska? Have you been to Iowa? Have you been to half the world? 80% of the world is not populated. They all push you in one area. That's the dumbest thing ever. We're overpopulated. Whoever says that, I just can't take them seriously. There's so many things that they are pushing you to believe and pushing you to get involved with when you can't even take care of your own house. They can't even take care of their own house. How did we come to the point where we're taxed for everything? Why can't we write a letter, say, show me the law we need to pay tax. Show me the law and I'll pay my tax. You get paid for buying something. You get paid for selling something. You get paid for this. You get a tax for this. I want to build that. I need a permit. We've been stolen. Humanity has been stolen by your own gut. Yes, America, you've been stolen. You're Republicans, you're Democrats, all of them. All of them. All of them. They're all full of nitrogenous waste, stealing money, period. They're professional con artists. I don't know how it goes. I don't know where it's going to go. I really don't. But people get involved with Israel and Palestine, all that jazz. It's like, it's mind-boggling. No one, you want to take a side? You want to send money? Stop sending money. I do not support it. Absolutely not, dude. I mean, I don't know anything about any of it. But of course, any Muslim is going to be the bad guy. They made Muslims as if every Muslim is wearing a backpack. That's the dumbest thing ever heard. They've criminalized. I learned so much, even just with Muammar Gaddafi. Muammar Gaddafi was executed because he didn't want to join the gang. That man took care of Africa. He took care of everything. You ask anyone outside of the banking system, they have nothing but incredible things to say about Muammar Gaddafi. And, now you go to Libya and it's sex trafficking. Wow. I wonder how that happened. Who was in control when we bombed and killed that man, took him out? America? Wow, sex trafficking. Interesting. So be careful with the nonsense you're getting involved with. It's all you don't know who's talking to you. Stop watching the news. It's owned by other people. It's owned. It's that's another thing. Like I ain't getting into it. And that's not anti-Semitic, and it's not anti-anything. It's just fat. It's just telling you. If you came to me and said, "Hey, man, there's a conflict over there," and everyone in the house is from one particular area, I'm not going to get the full story. So I can't get I until I get the full story. No, I don't want to hear it. Let's make a nice turn here and go into comedy here. All right, more fun stuff, which is what I'm into. I hope I say this right. Can we bring on Ali? Ali Siddiq. Is the Q silent? My apologies, Ali.
No, you got it right. No, it's Muammar Gaddafi, but you got Siddiq right.
What did I say? Muma. I always say Muma.
Yeah.
I don't know why I say Muma, but it's Moma.
Yeah, it's Muammar Gaddafi.
Did you know much about
Who
Moma?
I knew a lot about him. I had a great appreciation for him. A lot of things you said was correct.
Yeah, man. I the first time I learned really about him was another big hated were they controversial anti that labeled was Farrakhan. And Farrakhan, there was a great clip of Farrakhan saying all these things he did, like their education was free, their medical was free. If there was an issue and he couldn't take care of it, he'd pay for everything. He'd send you wherever. They were the waterway. He was building for Africa. He basically was against the banking system. He didn't need the empire, and so I want everyone to know, when you start looking at Iraq and Iran and all the countries that have been labeled as the demons, maybe they're just not part of the empire.
Maybe it's like comedy.
Right.
Maybe I'm just not a part of the empire.
Right. We're not part of the club, so we got to go on YouTube and everything else, which is what you did, bro. Crushing it.
Yeah.
Crushing it on YouTube. Did you ever?
Yeah, I'm not a part of the empire. I know that they'll probably never let me win an award because that would totally disrupt the whole system. That if you can win awards without being a part of the team, then they like, what? A true independent won an Emmy for best comedy? No, no,
No,
no.
no, that would never happen. That would never happen. So you have June 16th, you have the newest edition of the Domino Effect. That's the fourth one.
Yeah.
The third one came out on Mother's Day.
Yes.
We never got to meet. Are you an LA guy?
No, I'm a Houston guy. I'm a fan, just never met you.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys I haven't met. And your journey is really interesting for my fans or the people that listen that have no clue who Ali is. You started I feel like I vaguely remember. Did you do Def Jam?
I did Def Jam in 2008.
That's where I feel, because I knew Bill Bellamy for a while, and
Yeah.
back in the day, I really liked Bill. Bill was a good soul, and I remember following because I did the Uptown Comedy Club in the early '90s.
Uptown.
Did you know Uptown?
Yeah, I know Uptown. I performed there.
Were you at Uptown?
I've been doing it for
You've been around forever.
I've been doing it for 26 years. So I've been around for a minute.
Damn. Did you know the Brown brothers?
I met them, didn't know them.
Yeah. No, that was that time in my life completely changed my life and all that. It was I just had a conversation too, and he called out of the blue. This was interesting to say. Is well, I'll say it for him, but Tracy Morgan, who I've reconnected with recently, for him to say, we both had the same conversation. For him to say out of all the things he's done in TV and blah 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 and all that, Uptown was his all. And I said, me too, man. It wasn't just a show for us. It was more like it was a spiritual experience. We all looked after each other. It was freaking incredible. So your journey now, you started Forever and Ever, and then for those people don't know, you went to prison for a little while, right?
Yeah, for like six years.
Damn, that's a long stint. That's a long
The
stint.
90s. The 90s.
Well,
Almost all the 90s.
we call it camp. We have family member, and when they ask, we're like, yeah, he was in camp for 5 years.
He's at camp.
Yeah, he was at
He's at
camp.
camp.
He was at camp, and and, and, and then you come out of camp. But that's, to me, that's the you grew up in downtown Houston?
Yeah, southwest side of Houston.
And what was the upbringing? Upbringing was like
Mother, father is separated, but still around vaguely.
yeah.
But mom mostly.
Yeah.
Sister in the house. Mom had a pretty good job. Me being a young knucklehead outside with people. The worst thing is when your mom won't buy you something, and then somebody else gives you another option to get it. But your mom could afford it. She just wasn't buying it. Like you don't need $100 pair of sneakers. You don't play basketball like that. But play in the chucks that you've been playing in. Play in the shoes that you've been playing in. Who cares about this new guy that just came out with some shoes?
Yes.
But you want them.
Yes, I know. Well, I'm not gonna lie to you, Ali. That sounds like my kids right now. I ain't giving them nothing. I need a car. Yeah, and I don't want one that's used. What? What are you talking about? Well, danger wise, I feel like. Well, I mean, because you got it. Yeah, I know I got it because I went and got it.
That's the thing. If these kids are entitled, are you gonna still get the car though?
So here's what I did. Here's what I did with each one of my girls.
You got the car.
I put down payments for each car, and the payments.
But the down payment was enough for a paid off used vehicle.
Oh, hands down. Hands down. Without a doubt. And then my youngest one, she just got this car. It's like and as soon as she gets to, now she just left because she's not going to college. She went to, she works hard. I'll give her that. She really works hard. And then as soon as she got to her new job where she works, and she's up in New York now, where I live in Florida. The kid's in an apartment. She got the car. Yes, she makes payments. And the first thing she's like, can you pay for my gym prescription if I join a gym? What? Wait.
Man, we are the worst. We are the worst parents alive. Do you understand? I remember my daughter came to me and she's like, she wanted a car, and I'm like, man, I'm not buying you a car. Ooh, and then I talked to my friend. He was like, so when you buying the car? I'm like, man, I just got it, man. It's a cool little car. Like my mom would have never bought me a car.
I know.
She would have never did it.
I know.
She would have never put a down payment. She would have co-signed. She would have did nothing.
My mom said, wait, I'm not signing that damn thing because you don't pay and they come after me. I'm not doing that shit. And there I am like a jackass. Just, sure, now you're going to pay, right? Okay. Okay.
You're going to pay, right? You sure you're going to pay?
You're definitely going to pay, right? You definitely got a job. Okay. Jesus. My oldest one, she's seeing this guy up north. And I have an apartment I'm gonna move the podcast into. And she's like, well, that apartment's just sitting there, so maybe like me and my boyfriend can live in it.
What? I'm not helping you shack. I'm not helping you shack up. I'm not helping you shack up.
They don't see it as that. Like, you want me to pay for you to get some. Are you out of your mind? And you want a place where you can do it. And I'm paying for it. These kids are crazy. See, now that's a criminal mind, though. That's a criminal mind. I raised little
For the
criminal
record,
minds. Yeah.
for the record,
You know what?
we didn't call it camp. We used to say, "Yo, my man been up north." So when you said he was up north, he dating this guy from up north. I'm like, he's locked up. No, yo,
He's dating him
she's
from up
she's
north.
writing letters. She's writing letters. Okay, but that's crazy. They want you to pay for their shack house.
Yes.
Like, hey, look,
Yes.
we would go to a hotel. You end up having to pay for that as well. But just might as well just give me a
Right.
place.
Just give
Like
me a place
I
for a
can.
couple months. What? Wow. Holy bonkers.
This is insane.
Yeah.
Parenting with people who have been through it, we get to a place, and like I said this before on another podcast, gangsters and street people, once they come up, you will never see their kids in public school.
Oh,
Like we'll never give our kids that same hard life ever in the history of life. Will you you're not doing it.
oh my God. It's exactly what we did. Like all my kids were in private school. And I actually once I blue collar, and once I started to make some money, we're like, hey, drinks are on me. I'm doing good. Everyone's gonna do good. I was typical musician that made it big with an entourage. Everyone order wine, do this thing, and then
Do it.
when you start going, like, hey man, can you give me a lift to the airport? Hello? Yeah, I mean, if you got a chance, call me back. I'm sorry, man. I missed your message. I'm so sorry, dude. I got your message 3 days late. I'm sorry.
Man,
Yeah. So my nephew. I mean, it's already about. So, how many kids you got?
1,000. I have
What'd
8.
you say? 1,000? What'd you say?
I have 8. 1,000, but I have 8 of them. It feel like 1,000 people in this house, but it's 8.
You got 8 kids in there? Damn,
Man.
you're a straight up rabbit. Holy crow.
Yep.
What?
Straight rabbit. we have them in twos.
Do you have twins? Yeah, what do you?
No twins.
No
No
twins?
twins.
Triplets? Give me some
Just
triplets.
pop out 3 different children. Just like they look different and everything. Like she's like a cat. She's like a cat. She has a litter. Like, I like the one with the brown spot.
Oh my God. I like this one. This one's
only
playful right here. This one chases the ball.
only one boy though. It's
Oh,
crazy.
wow.
And I walked in here. I walked in on him yesterday. Oh my goodness! I've never even seen. His room was hot. It was hot, and the door was. It was. It was bare. He had a barrier. I'm like, yo, maybe he can use that apartment that you're not using. Because he is definitely a masturbating little dude. Like,
Well, how old is he? How old is he?
13.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah.
13.
That's a machine. That's a machine. Nothing was sacred in my house. Nothing was sacred I hit everything. I hit posters. I hit the back of the TV because it was hot. I hit socks, stuffed animals, the edge of the bed. I'd fold the pillows together, make it look like I'd make the other pillows. Why? I was every aunt and uncle that came over. I'd run right to it was chaos at that age. Chaos.
Yo, we gotta get him a hobby. You're not gonna stay in this. It was so hot in this room. I was like, it was a sauna. And I was like, yo, you are goodness great. And you stink, fam. Like you
We
are
don't shower.
this is
They don't shower
it's
today.
gonna smell like it's gonna smell worse than this if you actually get you some if you're not bathing. Like you're
But they
disgusting.
don't care. They don't care at that age. They don't care until some chick likes them, and then all of a sudden, they're wearing like too much Gillette. Gillette
Yo,
aftershave,
why,
all blue. Whoa,
why you smell like that?
whoa, whoa! Did you meet someone? Take it easy. What are you doing? You sneezing? My eyes itch. What are you doing? Did you put that on your donkey too? Jesus, no! Don't do that. Um,
Hey man. Father conversations are different, like because fathers understand when you talk to people that don't have kids, it's just all random things they've heard. And then like no, fathers like no. Let me tell you what I did. It's always a let me tell you how worse my story
yes. Oh, oh, I remember. I'd be like the Pink Panther. I'm like, no,
is.
we can go in my basement after 7 p.m. because my mom's third martini is at 7. She don't know nothing. My dad's passed out watching Sanford and Son and Archie Bunker. He's out. So, and we'll go in the basement. We got about an hour and a half before they start coming to. So I go in the basement. Yeah. They got you planned. And you have all girls except for the one. I think that was 10 times worse because every guy that show up, I just look at him like, okay, I gotta make sure this wolf don't find this rabbit somewhere alone in the house. And the rabbits are worse than the wolves. They're like, my father never comes in the basement. Come down here. We'll say we're watching a movie. Ugh. Yeah, yeah.
Man,
I'm
it
I'm I'm somewhat past those years. Now they want me to pay for it all. Can you pay for us to be in it?
yeah, my oldest daughter is 25, so
Same.
I've survived the girl. Oh,
So wait a minute. How old's the youngest one?
3.
Oh my God, Ali. Oh my God. No, what you gotta get no one your wife. Is this the same wife through this?
Same lady.
You gotta take care of this chick. And she allows you to go on the road? She allows you to go on the road with 10 of them? Good Jesus, Lord Almighty. We need to write a new book, a new Bible on what is her name? What is her name? The
Double A.
Book of Delay,
D- double A.
double
Two
A, double
A's.
A,
Yeah.
like an agent,
Yeah, double A.
like an agent.
Yeah. Like a lady.
She's an agent, all
Double.
right. Good Lord,
Yeah.
I want to meet this. She should run for president. Good God, she's got my vote immediately. Can you imagine watching 10 kids while you're sitting there going, "Yeah, I'm gonna do let me gone for the weekend.
Chaos.
I'm gonna go get some
So
cash, do some meet and greets, crush my new special." Good for you, man. It's a hard balance, by
man,
the way. That's a hard balance of life, what you're doing.
yeah, you'll always see double A name in the credits because she's the stylist for all of um the specials. She's always in the
So
credits.
she's hands on with you. She's hands on with
Yeah, she's hands on my outfits. She's definitely a special is a payday
you.
to double A. She's like, we're working, okay. Outfits. We need outfits. Yeah, because she used to be like she was the regional manager at Men's
Oh,
Warehouse
okay.
for a while. So she used to dress in men, and then when I took off the scene
Yeah.
and she became um a right off, and yeah, she's been looking to get back in the fray. She also runs a nonprofit organization called Mary Kay. And she also has that as well.
Mary Kay. She does the Mary Kay products?
It's a nonprofit organization.
Of course.
I have a storage place full of it.
Of course.
Anybody need Mary Kay, I have it. Like, like other Mary Kay ladies be like, yo, I'm out of lipstick. Hey, no, you're not. We have it. We have cases of it. meet me at the store at the public storage. We can unload all of it.
Wow. Wow. I know very similar Mary Kay
I cannot
nonprofits.
I cannot wait to be on Storage Wars. Can't wait. Just when they pull up the thing, it's gonna be all Mary Kay. I'm gonna be like, we should send this to Mexico. I'm gonna buy this and send all this stuff to Mexico.
Oh my God. So I'm curious about if you don't mind me asking, like the whole journey
Nah,
where you before you go up north, before you go to camp, are you doing stand up?
not at all.
Okay.
Having wanted, had a desire to, saw it, heard it, saw it on TV, but never did it. I'm 19, I'm in the streets, so
Yeah, like like family member. He was in the streets. I knew where he was going to end up. And by miracle, I didn't, he once he went in and he got the 5 years, I was like, oh boy, he ain't gonna make, but he made it. He made it. And I always honor and tip my hat to any success story, like, because that's not to go from that and then to come back out and it's whatever environment that you're growing up in that pushes you in that direction, and then be able to come out of that and then able to get life going in a different direction, to me is so powerful and so inspiring, because people have no clue what that struggle is. Zero. They can't even try to understand what that struggle is. So how do you go from that to you come out, and then how do you get from that to where we're at now?
a lot of mental fortitude, working jobs and trying to do stand up on the side, so to speak. Going to open mics, trying to get my legs up under me, but mostly, just working and being funny at the job, I was selling men's clothing, so it was giving me a lot. And then I also worked in the kiosk in the same mall at the Sunglass Hut. So you would buy a suit from me, and then a couple hours later, you would see me at the Sunglass Hut selling shades right by the pretzel place.
A wetzel pretzel.
So,
You're sitting there getting a wetzel pretzel and going, isn't that the guy that sold us to?
so many.
You're sitting there going, you're going to need some glasses with that suit I sold
So,
you.
yeah, some Maui gems. You don't want no Maui gems?
Wow.
You don't want some Revo? You don't want no Revos? I'm going straight high price, polarized. Before it was a thing. Yeah, so going to the open mics, really I was at Apollo night. It really wasn't an open mic, it was Apollo night. And I got on at this comedy club called Just Joking Comedy Cafe. And then I was trying to go to the laugh spot. I was trying to go to the laugh stop, just doing all the spots in Houston. And it just kind of became my thing. I'm running to San Antonio, running to Austin, you know,
when
just kind of just doing the
when you
gigs.
when you because I've seen some of your stuff, and I love it's to me when you tell the stories, it really reminds me of, well, like you said, like you name it, the domino effect, like a one man show. Like I'm captivated by watching you act the whole thing out. When you the one I was watching where you come out and they're giving you you seventh floor, you uh 10B. And
MV3.
I felt like I was watching a movie, and I was just like, oh god, he's gonna go to 10B. Like, what's going on 10B? You think 10B is fucking, oh my god. But you acted out every single character. I love that kind of entertainment, dude. I grew up a diehard Richard Pryor guy. Um
Yeah.
to me, that was the king. No one touches no one touches him as far as I'm concerned. It was Pryor and Carlin. Carlin for me, and then Eddie Murphy. That's my Mount Rushmore is Pryor, Kinnis, George Carlin, Eddie Murphy, and I'm gonna have to say Sam Kinison, even though he didn't have a long. He
Yeah,
came out and he
that's a
changed
Texas.
everything. He changed
That's a
everything.
Houston
Yeah,
guy.
he changed everything. He changed.
Yeah.
He brought out this whole different monster. Who you have your eye on that's influencing you at that time?
Oh man, Carol Burnett,
Wow,
um, Don Rickles.
Don Rickles was great. Yeah, I have his first album.
Yeah, yeah. Then then Cosby.
Cosby was great.
Then then Richard. Richard. I heard Richard last.
Really?
I saw Carol Burnett first. Bill Cosby. That's a Fat Albert.
Yeah.
Era. I'm seeing him on that. Don Rickles because my pops is watching Frank Sinatra, and I'm seeing this wild dude that's with him all the time. I'm like, yo, Don Rickles is
He
amazing.
was.
And then I find the album Blacksmith. Richard Pryor's on the front of it. Overalls on. It's a horse.
Yeah.
I put the album on, and I'm hooked. From from that point on, it's 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 anything Richard did.
Yep.
Um, anything that and man, who I picked a lot of people for different reasons.
Same. Same.
Dick Gregory is definitely a huge part of that. But man, Rodney Dangerfield,
Mm.
I don't think I would have been as supportive of other artists if I probably wouldn't have seen Rodney Dangerfield, because it's like he had that HBO
Yep.
thing,
Yep.
and it was his show, but he brought so many other people on the show,
Yep.
and I was like, and that's pretty cool. That's like it's a non-selfish thing,
Yep.
and I didn't even realize that I felt that way about it until I actually became a comic. I just saw it as a kid. It was like, yo, man, that's a cool thing that he shares his platform with people. Because my dad, obviously selling powder cocaine at the time, we had cable, and there wasn't a lot of people with cable, so I would see Rodney Dangerfield's thing, and I'm like, that was cool. So
We didn't have cable
I'm
either.
very
We rigged it.
supportive.
We rigged it.
You
We
rigged
rigged it big
it.
time. There was always one guy in the street like, "Go get your TV, and I'll show you how to hook up cable." Like, are you serious? Yeah, give me $20. I'll go hook up a cable. We put it on the front porch of the thing, and we got to watch the HBO that you're talking about. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah,
Go ahead, finish.
the real HBO, when it come on, dun, 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 and the HBO floats to you, like
Yes.
that was the real HBO.
Gung, 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 gung.
Boom.
1 hour HBO, 20 minutes for Rodney Dangerfield's Young Comedian
Yeah,
Special.
and then at the time, cable cable went off, and you would just see, like, you would try to make it, you would try to turn to these other channels, and it was so fuzzy, but you could see a little porn, just a little bit of,
Well, you had a
like, you like,
you had a box. You had to press
yeah, you had a
the
box.
2 in row 1 and 11 in row 2 and hold it down at the same time after 11 p.m. and make sure your parents were sleeping, and
Yeah.
you'd wait for like 20 minutes and the lines were blurry, and just for a split
Yeah.
second a boob would go blop. You're like, oh, and that's all I needed. Bang, pillow, sock, edge of the bed, clothes in the closet, back of the TV, the paneling, everything got it. Everything got it. There was no stop. One little boob, and it was talking for you. Blop. Oh!
It's
Shut
old.
the
It's old.
door. Yeah, man.
I didn't realize that Oliver's found a porn magazine in the forest. Like none of it was. I don't know nobody who found a porn magazine that wasn't just on the ground on a trail as you walk somewhere. It's under leaves. It's under leaves, and somebody says, "Is that a tit
Yeah.
on that paper?"
Yeah. Sometimes in the
Then you pull
bushes
it.
because someone would like having like I put it in the bushes and you're walking as a kid like what is that? Oh my god! Some lady's rear end. What the hell is going on there? It ruin your whole
It was
childhood.
crazy. It looked like they were smoking on the paper. Like it looked like the lady was doing that. You want to see something? You want to see something? I'm like, yeah, I want to see it, smoky lady.
Let me see it again. Let me see.
Hey, if your friend, if you had a friend that had a porn picture, why you always show the like this?
I had a kid. I had a kid that would. I think it was ninth grade. He would draw pictures, and he would just, he'd be sitting there trying to half-ass pay attention. I was always in the back, and he was just like this. He'd be like, "Brother, here's a picture for you." And I'm looking at it, and I open it up, I'm like, "Oh my god!" It was just a picture, and I'm like, "Oh."
He's gonna be a great.
Soon as I,
He's gonna be.
soon as I get home, my bicycle's gonna get it in the garage. Everything's gonna get it.
Like this guy is gonna be a great sketch artist. He's
Yes.
gonna be great.
And it's
Now you see it.
yeah.
Now you see him in on court things doing it. Like,
Yeah, that's
oh,
right.
the sketch artist Jerome Jackson. Like, yo, he's always been good. He's always been good.
Right. Wait, is that Jerome who used to draw the wow? He moved up with his sketch artist. And meanwhile, he's really just drawing the same thing with everyone that's up there. He's just imagining and drawing. It's like, can we see the artist? I'm not done yet. No, that's the unedited one. Hold on. I don't want to do the real one. There you go. That's the real one.
What if the court person who had to draw the people? He just drew everybody naked, like with your real face. But you like,
That would be
you know,
funny.
this is what was going on. This is some lady in court testifying. She didn't have that on. Hey, I'm just drawing how I see it.
That's how I
Just
saw
drawing
it.
what I see.
We all have different perspectives, and this is how I saw the whole situation. So I don't know what to tell you. So all right. So you started when did you were you always doing what you're doing now? Because it took me forever. Because when I first started, I was just trying to be funny. Like I was just
Yeah.
trying to be as goofy and funny as possible. And then I got jaded because there were people that didn't like me. And I was very, very sensitive. Like I was very, very sensitive when you see some of your peers and they take shots at you. I had peers take shots at me while they're on stage. And I take it as whatever the scenario, it doesn't matter. But what that led to, what I'm talking about now, is almost, I feel like it took me almost 20 years or more to find my quote, my voice, or what I really enjoy talking about, or the zone that I finally found. Did you come out of the gate talking about the things you're talking about now with
No,
no, right? When did,
no.
because I'm going to assume, and don't, correct me if I'm wrong, you come out of camp and you probably don't want a lot of people to know you came out of camp. So you kind of keeping that under wraps and the thing. But on stage, I think that's the most incredible stuff putting out there. It's so honest, so funny, so pure. Um, when that
Took a
transition
minute to get
start?
there.
When did you discover that?
Um, it was a situation where, you know, and I want to say this first because you definitely brought up a key point that I don't think a lot of comics even talk about how they feel about when their peers and their coworkers are taking shots at them because they not like them, or they don't see it, or they don't,
Yeah. Were they
have a notion of where you going. So I was a little more energetic, very physical type of comic, and then I was writing stuff that was genuine to me, and then I somebody took a lot of stuff, like was writing on the same level, and I don't think they were writing it. I think that their writers were seeing me places and then turning in my material to that person. So I don't even blame that person for doing the same kind of stick. So when I expressed my concern about it to a particular person as my mentor, and it was funny for my mentor to try to do an impersonation, which I know that he doesn't do impersonations
Yeah.
well, but but I went to him, and I'll tell you who he is after he does the impersonation. I went to him and said, "Hey man, this person is like kind of talking the same as me, like, and I know this is my stuff." And he says, "I'm going to tell you the same thing that Prince told Timbaland." And I said, I said, "What was that?" He said, "Timbaland called Prince and said, 'Hey man, a lot of people out here stealing my sound.'" And this was the impression. He tried to do a Prince. I died. He said, Prince said, "Are you that nigga?" Is the tuna said, "Yeah, nigga." Then create another sound, and then he hung up on
Oh,
him,
wow.
and then he hung up on me. He left me on the phone, and that was DL Hughley,
Wow.
and he said to me,
Mm.
"Create another sound."
Mm.
And then a week later, we talked, and he said, the funniest that you're going to ever be in your
Yep.
life is based upon how honest that you want to be.
He's 100% right.
So right from the most honest space that you can, that nobody can duplicate.
Mm.
And that was when I started crafting my stories about being incarcerated. That's what made me do what is affectionately known. It's called the prison ride, but people know it as Mexican Got on Boots. From This Is Not Happening on Ari
Yeah,
Shafir's
yeah,
show.
yeah. Yeah.
So I did that story, and then that kind of spiraled into people. Oh, he was incarcerated, but I had been doing stand up for 17 years before I ever even mentioned it.
Mm.
Because
Wow.
like you say that coming home,
Yep.
I don't want a lot of people to know that about me, and then I don't want to talk about prison because I don't want to become this typecast
Exactly.
person.
Exactly.
So it took 17 years before I even ever said anything um to the public. My friends knew, and people that was around me knew, but I kept that pretty close to the vest. So this series of the Domino Effect is going to end with 4. I'm gonna do 2 specials in between starting the next series, and I'm only saying it because you gave it the whole synopsis of what's the next series. Is called In the Shadows,
Mm.
which is my journey from getting out, trying to start become a comic, but I don't want nobody really to know anything about me
Yes.
because I can get sent back. If somebody gave some place, so just so happens somebody's jealous and of whatever success I may be having,
Right.
and they call, well, he assaulted me, and now I have to go
That's
back
right.
to
That's right.
prison and then fight my way from out of that. So I was kind of just living in the shadows. Like people, like, well, you want to do this interview? No. I don't know the questions they're gonna ask me. I don't want to be seen with too many people. No, I don't want to be around. It was this whole living under a rock
Yeah.
type thing, but still trying to be in a public
Yep.
space, which is weird. It's a weird time, but
Yeah.
it just makes for good
I
content.
was on the opposite side trying to hide. I'm in an upper class, nice neighborhood. And here comes, I'll never forget, I haven't seen him, before. He was a meathead. He was a full blown meathead, like just a meathead. I almost knocked him out so many times as a teenager. I pulled him like, what the fuck? He's like, such a knucklehead. And my wife's pregnant. We've got a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old. I'm straight out of television land or whatever. And I'm like, I set the car, I'll pick him up, we'll bring him here, we'll have a nice dinner. I will never forget this. He comes out of the car, and I can't do it here. He squats. First of all, he's 6'6", and he's all inked on one side because he would do his own ink, right? And he squats on the ground and lights a cigarette. He's like for like 10 minutes looking around. And then I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, ugh. And we took him to dinner, and I said, we're going to go to a nice dinner. And he comes down. He had a white wife beater, and like these gang shorts. I said, wait, dude, do you have any clothes? So I had it was the real life fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And so I get him one of my shirts, button up shirt, and we go there and we go to dinner. He's 6'4", so we're in a nice restaurant, and he's leaning like this on the like he's like this. People are sitting up there staring at him. He's got ink all over him. There's no ink in this town anywhere. It's just a lot of people talking about computers and stuff I don't understand, and I don't understand how half America makes money. Oh, a computer, and I fly to Japan. What do you do? Comedy. Oh, that's cute. So, you got this house doing comedy, huh? Yeah, go figure. It's pretty cool, huh? Hey, we're having a birthday party. If you, thank you. Thanks for the it's a backyard setting. It's great. Thank you. I think I'll be all right. And trying to keep that under wraps was, but at the same time trying to mentor and nonstop hanging out and nonstop trying to deprogram. And also, this banana would. First of all, you couldn't play. I'm going to imagine you can't play cards with you. If we ever play, I ain't never playing cards with you. This guy, we'd play cards and he'd win every game. I'm like, this guy, he memorizes every single. I'm like, of course, because he was in camp. So he'd have things like, he's like, we used to do this. He'd have spiders, and he'd have spider fights on my front porch. Like, what do you do? He's like, dude, we used to do this all the time. Like, what? He had all.
He's still doing all prison stuff.
Yeah, and
in the freezer
and
side.
the best was, he said he wanted to make us dinner, and it was. I gotta get
He did a spread.
No, he got macaroni and cheese, Cheetos, blah blah blah, and he was like, "This is like when we're feasting."
That's a spread. He made y'all a spread.
Yeah, what's in a spread? What's a spread?
A spread. A spread is like, because you put noodles,
yes.
cheese, chili. You put a bunch of stuff, and
yes.
and you put it in a bowl.
Yes, he was bro. And my wife and I, we go to the gym. We're out eating apples every day, and I'm like, just eat it. I remember going through. He's like, no, don't question what I'm buying. I'm like, all right. And we're buying Cheetos. We're buying mac. I'm like, what is he? Powdered this, and it was good. I slept for a week, but yeah, that's when he made it. And he was so excited. So excited.
Did he put crackers? Put crackers on the side when he put it? he gave you a classic prison meal.
How would I know that? How would I know? I would know it. You're the first person I ever told. So I'm trying to hide this. And people are like, oh, everyone's in private school. Oh, it's your nephew. How you doing? I'm like, cork normal. Don't do this with your shoulders. Please wear long sleeve shirts.
Yo,
And it took him a while
he
because
made.
there's a couple times he'd drive around the area and I would get pulled over. I would get pulled over because I don't buy nice cars. So I'm rolling in like a Ford Escort. I'm like, what the? And everyone's got nice cars, and they think I'm casing it. I swear to God, I got pulled over 3 times. This town called Mendham, New Jersey, and it would piss me off
Oh.
more and more. And then he started getting pulled over. I'm like, listen, you can't be blasting angry rap with tinted windows while pot is pouring out of the window and they get pissed they pulled you over. Do you understand the neighborhood you're in? They're paying 20 grand in taxes to avoid people like you.
To avoid
That's
you.
what it's all about here. That's why they pay the paint. We don't want any of this in our area. And you're just,
Uh, uh,
yeah. So,
any of it. I don't want to see it. And look, and the worst thing in the world. You don't know the worst thing in the
what's that,
world
Ali?
is when you become that person. Oh, and you are that person. Oh my God, what is this hoodlum doing in our
Yeah.
neighborhood? Like, like I'm coming to make the report. Hey, it is some guys who have been rolling around in this neighborhood, and the BMWs are definitely old. These are definitely old
It's
BMWs,
used.
and they're and the cops are like, yeah, just saw domino effect. Just saw it. Are you reporting people? Okay. So you're snitching. So you're snitching now. Hey man, I'm a different guy. I'm a different guy,
Oh,
sir.
you bring up something interesting too. We
Uh,
had some incidents when he came back where they were like, he came to me all shaky. He's like, they want me to be an informant. Whoa, 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 whoa! Who's they? Who's they? What is going on?
they don't ask everybody to do that. They don't. That's a different
I'm
thing,
like, what do you
man.
mean they want you being informant? They want me wearing wires. What are you doing? What? Start with the beginning. How did this even go? Oh, I got caught smoke. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, it was quite a transition,
Oh,
but um
how is he now?
40, and I have to say he's my best friend, man. He's my best friend.
It says 40. And I
Yeah, I had
have
to
to
think
say,
about it. Maybe 40. God, he's older than that now. Yeah, he's 44, doing well, has a daughter, married for a long time. And just did, he did good.
we do
He did good.
we do good
He did
when
good.
we get a little help when we get out and somebody to understand. Like even me being out this long, I still have glimpses of I had glitches
Of course.
to when it reverts back to that. Especially when I'm not good with like internet
Right.
stuff, or I'm not good with people being able to say something about you and then go away. I'm still troubled by that
Yeah.
because if I'm gonna say something about it, and it comes from being in this game with peers too. I've always been this person. I'm not gonna say anything about you that I would not say in your face. I hadn't said to you first. If you hear, oh, Ali said such and such about you, like I know he told me. He said it to my face first, and then he said it to y'all. That it was in the conversation. So, um, like my first actual time seeing you
What's that?
because I wanted to be both of y'all. Like I just felt like this is the coolest thing. So in the improvs, y'all are on the screens
Oh,
before
yeah.
you were in the like when that would come on. I was like,
Yes.
"Hey, bro, I want to say right now." Like this is the greatest. These two guys have the greatest goddamn job in comedy. That they start the show. They shows have to be packed. They shows have to be packed because every week somebody sees this 5 to 6 times
Yep.
a
Yep.
week. Like it's crazy, man. And like you know how like people don't understand where jealousy and envy comes from. I'm like, yo,
Oh,
man, if I could get these guys job right
that's
here,
right. That's right.
I'm going to blow the fuck up.
Exactly.
Like, I'm gonna blow
Yep.
up. Like,
Yep.
and I wanted that gig so bad. I don't even know how y'all got it. And I was
I'll
like,
tell you.
yo, that's a pretty cool ass gig to just every night
Everyone's
hop
looking
up
at
on
you. Everyone's looking at you.
every night. This is the start of the rules to a comedy
That's
show.
right.
Like it's like, man, and you just back there I'm like this guy is having a good ass time. And hey, I'm trying to do a show. I'm like, this is fucking amazing. Like you never in comedy, you never know what somebody wants to do. Like, man, and in this business, I thought I was failing because I didn't know so much about this business. There's so many different things to do in
Yeah.
comedy. If you don't want to be the guy, you can be the guy on another. Man, you realize that I'm doing stand up, got all these shows. I have no idea who this guy is, but he's the warm up for a television show.
Yeah. Right.
And he's like,
Right.
oh, so you guys are coming on the show. And it's like, it's real Hollywoodish, but you don't know who he is.
Right.
Like, yo, who are
Right.
you? And he's like, yo, I'm the warm up guy. And I'm like, this guy thinks he's all that. And then we leaving. I'm waiting on a cab. This is before Lyft and Uber. I'm waiting on a cab to come pick me up to take me to the next spot. He gets in a
Oh
Maserati
yeah.
and pulls next to us like, hey man, you guys are really cool today. I'm like, that was the warm up guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, he made like 15K
Yeah.
a week or something like that. You like,
Yeah.
so why am I trying to be known?
That's right.
Like what? Like so the guy on the cruise ship that I see that's on Royal Caribbean
Yes. Right.
that's doing 2 shows a week and he's raking it
Right.
in and he's like, yeah, man, and he's smoking on the boat where you can't even smoke it. He's like,
That's right.
yeah, so yeah, I'm like maybe $500,000-$600,000 a year. It's crazy. Like,
It's really.
nobody knows
I
him,
met this
but he
chick
doesn't give a
from
damn.
Oslo. I don't know if you know where Oslo is. It doesn't matter. It's on the other side of the world. She's beautiful. You know, they got different rules over there. The Swedish chicks are amazing. I don't know if you've ever been to Sweden, but that's Sweden. You've been to Sweden? Oh yeah, Tokyo. I was like, what? Oh yeah. I was dating this girl from Japan. She was on the boat. What? Yeah. There's all these. When you realize we are not in it for the peers, it makes life easier. And I got to say, I'm really glad that DL Hughley set you on the truth path, because that's when we find ourselves and we realize we're really just in it for us. And I got to say, I mean, you're on tour right now. Anyone could we'll get your socials up and all that. I hope you're coming in the Florida area. I don't know if you're hitting. Oh yeah, you are. I think you're hitting Tampa and Jacksonville.
Tampa and Jacksonville in June.
I got to see if I'm around for the June one. I'd love to go see that. I highly suggest come out and check out this show. It's your different style. I love your style. I love your style of comedy. You're captivating. I love your style. I love it. I freaking love it. I'm shocked, to be honest with you. You don't have a series, or no one's come and said, let's make this a series. Let's make this whatever, because you write it. Do you write everything yourself?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like when I watch it, I'm like, how's this? Like, I feel like when I'm on stage, I'm doing an entire sitcom. I'm acting out my daughter, my wife, my this, my that.
Yeah.
It's writers can't figure that out, which is mind-boggling to me. But when I watch you, I feel like I'm watching the movie, or I'm watching the TV show. It's really, I love your approach, and I just love what you're doing, man.
Thank you very much, sir.
I hope you come back. I want to talk like for another 4 hours, but I'm just too damn old. But I want to.
I'm willing.
I want to keep going, but I'm like 50. I'm gonna be 57. I'm tired, man. I'm tired. I gotta go get some coffee and get these bags away from under my eyes.
And it's great. I come back anytime, man. Anytime.
Ali, let's catch up soon, especially on the tour dates and all that stuff. And I'll try to catch you in June in Tampa. And I really thank you for coming on here. I'm a big fan.
Oh man, perfect. Thank you very much, man. And I'm a huge fan.
Safe journeys to you, bro.
Thank you,
Yeah,
brother.
keep crushing.
Thank you.
Ali Siddiq, go check. I'm telling you, when I was watching him, it was like, it really is like watching a movie, and and he acts out everything. And I found it very one man showish, almost like, listen, I know what Cosby, it's before what was revealed, what Cosby was doing as an artist was really good. It's a shame. But what I'm getting at is the style of, Ali will sit down, he will act everything out. It's pretty captivating. So I'm glad he came on. I wanted to get him on. And I hope you guys check him out. I think you'll like the story. And the whole story of, we call it camp, or as he says up north. I find it very inspiring for so many people. I really do. And I know that kind of sounds corny for some people, but to come from a place where he came from, to go to a place where he went, come out, and become the human being that he's become. I love rooting for guys like that, and I love standing behind people like that. So I would like to thank Ali for coming on. Check out his socials. Go check him out on tour. And we wish you all the best. Keep laughing out there. I keep saying it's going to get crazy. It's going to get crazy. It keeps getting crazier and crazier. So much love to all you guys. Pass the love along. If you find yourself talking about politics, do everything you can to bite your lip and push that energy in a more positive direction. See you next week on the Breuniverse.
Take a look around and what do you see? Lock the date down tonight, we're making history.
Hey, this is Jim Breuer, and I got my own Patreon page, and hopefully you'll check it out. Live comedy concert streamed once a month. Early access to the Breuniverse podcast every single week. And have bonus footage and bonus segments. I promise you I'm not going to let you down. Go check out my official Jim Breuer Patreon page, and I'll see you there.